So I was listening to the online classes that my son is attending from home and happened to listen to some of the statements that were given in his history class or in his mathematics class about what is the contribution of India into different fields, right? So I was very sad when I heard that the contribution of India to mathematics is zero and nothing else was told. Does it mean that it's only zero that India contributed to the world? Let's look at it. So, introduction and history of mathematics in India starts normally with the contribution of India to mathematics is zero, right? So, let's find out what is outside zero that India did. So, what our texts say about Ganita, which is mathematics in Sanskrit. Ganita is the science of calculations. This is the statement coming from Vedanga Jyotisha, which is a text 3200 years old. Just like crest of peacock, gem on the head of a serpent, Ganita is to the Vedanga Shastras. So this is also from the same text Vedanga Jyotisha. The one who knows Dhuli Karma is what Brahmagupta called mathematics as. The one who knows Dhulikarma as propounded by Brahmagupta would far excel them in learning who are taught the calculations according to Aryabhatta, Vishnuchandra and others. He says in his Brahmasputa Siddhanta, that is 2050 years ago at least, right? So Brahmagupta takes the name of Aryabhatta and Vishnuchandra with extreme reverence to them, with extreme respect to them. That means we had many more others before Brahmagupta in the field of mathematics and in the field of Jyotisha or astronomy. Now, what about the others? Pingala, who wrote Chanda Shastra, which is nothing but a text of meters which are used for making the shlokas in Sanskrit, specifically called Shunya to denote zero, and used the symbol zero in his work Chanda Shastra. So the meters come with the Guru and Laghu. The Laghu he used the symbol zero. Now by 8th century, place value system was in wide use in Bharata. All people, the normal citizens, used the place value system for their daily transactions. Now, what happened in the Arab world? When Islam spread in the Middle East, North Africa, and Spain, Arabs came across the Hindu numerals, that too from Alexandria. Now, where is Alexandria? That's in Egypt. And why Egypt? Because from time immemorial, from the antiquity, Egyptians had a trade with India, and Alexandria was one of the prime ports where the boats were anchored during the trading with India. Now all the manuscripts from India was collected in a library in Alexandria, which happened to be one of the world's largest library. Eventually got burnt by the church. In 8th century, Al-Fazari translated the works of Brahmagupta, two books, Brahmasputa Siddhanta and Khandakadyaka, to Arabic with the help of Egyptians and Syrians who had traded with India, who worked as a translator for him. Egypt and Syria had trade with the Bharata again from antiquity, and we all know the Syrian blade, which uses the steel from India, being a very famous for making swords in old times. Now, until 8th century, Arabs used numbers with the 9 numerals 1 to 9, which they learned either from Egypt through their contacts in Alexandria, or from the east, that is Persia and India, and they refer to it as Gobar numerals with the Hindu origin. In 8th century, a person called Al-Khwarizmi translated Brahmagupta's works, what is now called as arithmetic. The arithmetic name comes from Al-Khwarizmi, so it's a corrupt form coming from Al-Khwarizmi, and the Europeans called it as arithmetic. Now, he's been called as the inventor of arithmetic by the European historians. But what exactly he invented compared to his predecessors from India? Let's look at that. The art of calculation was called by many terms in Bharata. Patiganita. Pati is a colloquial term used for Sanskrit phalaka, which is a board. So the calculation done on a slate is called Patiganita. Dhulikarma, as called by Brahmagupta, is a calculation done on a board with the dust. Now dust helps you to write on a board, right? So we have all done how to write on a sand. Brahmagupta explained 20 logistics, or what he calls as parikarma, and 8 determinations, what he calls as vyavahara. And the list is below. We don't need to get into all the details of that, except for we'll see Sankalana and Vevakalana, which is addition and subtraction. What Brahmagupta said 2000 years ago, and after say 800 years after him, what exactly Al-Khwarizmi understood. This is the number scale, and we have 0 in the center with the positive numbers on the right and negative numbers on the left. Now for Hindus, 0 was a number. Brahmagupta made specific rules for addition and subtraction of 0. 1 was a number. Negative numbers were real for Indians from more than 2000 years. 0 was sum of positive and negative numbers of equal magnitude. Now let's say what Arabs did. 0 did not exist in 8th century for Al-Khwarizmi. 1 was not a number for Al-Khwarizmi in 8th century. Al-Uqlidisi, another person who worked in mathematics in 8th century, considered 0 as just a placeholder for empty, but he did not consider it as a number. Arabs did not understand negative number. This is very important. Al-Khwarizmi did not fully translate Brahmagupta's works as he did not understand 0 and negative numbers. Arabs did not know subtracting a big number from a small number because that lead to a negative number, and Arabs did not understand negative. What happened in Europe and Greece? Now, Greece has been attributed with many things by historians, right, to whitewash the contribution of India. 0 was not a number till 18th century. Greek math did not contain 1. Leonardo Pisano in 13th century, who wrote Liber Abaci, did not contain 0 as a number, nor positive and negative numbers. He just had numbers. Treviso arithmetic in 1478, the numbers started with the 2 in that book. A German mathematician, Michael Stifel, in 16th century called negative numbers as absurd numbers. Now let's look at what are positive and negative numbers. They are numbers with a opposite in nature. That means they are not, negative numbers are not something which are below 0 but just opposite of a positive. That means if positive represents a loss, a profit, negative number represents a loss. Positive, if it represents going up the hill, negative represents coming down the hill. So they are just opposite in nature, right? So sum of which with equal magnitude gives you 0, and that is the only contribution that is attributed to India, right? Now, what does it 0 do for numbers in our Hindu numerals, what we call as, which contain the place value system? So when you add a 0 on the right side of a number, it increases the value by tenfold. 0 on the left side of a number does not change value of a number. Example is 1 and 0. When you say 0 on the right side of 1, it becomes 10, whereas 0 on the left side of 1, it does not change the value of the number. Now, Europeans suspected 0 as a black magic, something of a very mysterious in nature, until 17th century. Now this is the place value system. We have number that is as big as going to 5 crores or 53 crores, right? So let's look at what are the different decimal places for this. You have Units digit or one digit, tenth digit, 100,000, 10,000, lakh, 10 lakh, crore, and 10 crore. So that is a number which is 53 crore 49 lakh 67,354. You're able to tell this number with the specific names to each one of those, placeholder, because of Hindu place value system. How to do addition and subtraction, right? So addition is nothing but a process of increasing the quantity, or a process of going to the right in a positive direction, or a process of going upwards. Subtraction is a process of decreasing the quantity, or a process of going to the left, or a process of going downwards. These statements are just to make a sense out of what exactly is a negative number and what is a positive number, right? So a positive number is a gain, or that goes right, or that goes up. A negative number is a loss, or that goes left, or that goes down. Now with this basic understanding, if you try to attempt the addition and subtraction with all integers inclusive of zero and negative numbers, the understanding becomes pretty easy. Now let's look at Brahmagupta's rules for Sankalana. These are the shlokas. Dhanayordhanam, Rinam Rinayo, Samaikyam Kham, Rinamaikyam Cha Dhanam Rina Dhanashunyayoho, Shunyayo Shunyam. So these are the 5 sutras that Brahmagupta gives for Sankalana to begin with in his book Brahmasputa Siddhanta, which he wrote 2050 years ago. So let's look at the first operation, Dhanayordhanam. What does it mean? You add a positive number to another positive number. The resulting number is positive, and you increase a gain. So 4 plus 2 is 6, which means that you are increasing the gain which is at 4 by another gain of 2, resulting in 6, right? So this is the only operations that Arabs did and understood, the only operation that Europe did till 18th century, because the rest of it they could not understand. Now what about the negative numbers? Rina is negative, Ghana is a positive number. I think there is a mistake in the Sanskrit word. It has become dhana instead of ghana. So rinam rinayo. So you add a negative number to another negative. So that means you add a loss to another loss, which makes the loss bigger. So loss of 4 and loss of 2, when you add, you become loss of 6. So you are essentially increasing a loss. Now the next one is samaikyam kham. What happens when you add a negative number and a positive number with equal magnitude, right? Minus 6 plus positive 6. So essentially you bring back the loss of 6 to shift the loss by the equal amount to the right and bringing back to 0. Now let's look at Rinamaikyam Chadhanam Rinadhana Shunyayoho. So what does it mean? You add a positive number to 0, it becomes a positive. So essentially you are simply making a profit, right? Now when you add Rina, that is negative, to 0, it becomes negative. So you are just making your first loss. The last one, shunyayo shunyam. If you add a 0 to 0, it stays at 0. So now why so specific mentions of operations with the 0 that Brahmagupta refers to? Because he is emphasizing the importance of 0 as a number, and that was never understood by either Arabs neither Europeans. So that's the summary. The one in the red, Ghane or Ghanam, is the only operations that rest of the world understood for, you know, 800 years plus in Arab world, and the next 17 centuries in the West, right? So that's what is the importance of this particular chapter from Brahmagupta's text. Now, what about Vyavakalana? That's a whole, shloka, and again, the one which is mentioned in red is what the rest of the world outside in India or Bharata understood. So The translation is smaller positive subtracted from a larger positive is a positive. Smaller negative subtracted from a larger negative is a negative. If a larger positive or a negative subtracted from a smaller positive or a negative, you reverse the sign of the difference between the magnitude of those numbers. 0 subtracted from negative is negative, positive is positive, 0 is 0, which I think is very obvious. Yes, it is obvious for Indians, not for the rest of the world. When you subtract a positive from negative or a negative from a positive, you add them and apply the sign of the first number. So now let's look at what exactly they mean. A smaller positive removed from a bigger positive, which essentially means that you have a big profit from which you remove a small profit. That means essentially you make a loss. So that results in a still a positive gain or a positive number, right? So smaller positive subtracted from a larger positive gives you still a positive number. Now smaller negative removed from a bigger negative, so you have a big loss. Now you want to remove a small loss from that. What does it mean? You remove a loss means, which essentially means you make a profit, right? So that means a smaller negative subtracted from a larger negative gives you a negative, but the negative number reduces by magnitude, which means essentially you are removing a loss. Now let's go to the next one, bigger positive removed from a smaller positive. So how do you do that? This operation could not be understood by Arab or the Europeans. 4 minus 6. Now how do you do that? How can you remove something so big from a smaller number? You go to 0, and how do you remove further, right? So that's tricky. So if you look at the diagram, what essentially happens is you come to 0 and you have something going below in the opposite direction. That means you're having a small profit and you're removing a big profit, which essentially means you're making a loss, which pushes you to the side of the loss, right? So that becomes minus 2. Now a bigger negative removed from a smaller negative, what happens? Minus 4 minus 6. So what does it mean? Removing a bigger negative or a bigger loss essentially means you make a profit. So you push yourself on the positive side. Removing a loss is making a profit. So 4 minus minus 6 becomes 2. Right? So essentially what do we see here? Sign of the difference is reversed in this particular operation. You look at absolute numbers of those, absolute magnitude of those numbers, take the difference, and the sign of the first number is simply reversed. That's what we do here. Now the last one is a negative removed from a positive. So essentially what you're doing is remove loss from a gain. So 4 minus minus 2, so which is nothing but you add a profit. So that becomes 4 plus 2, giving you a 6 on the profit side. And then you have positive removed from a negative. So what is positive removed? You remove a profit from already a state of a loss, which is nothing but you're adding a loss. So you're making further losses, so that number becomes even bigger. So essentially you get minus 6. So when you subtract a positive number from negative or a negative number from a positive, you add the absolute number and apply sign of the first number. So in case of minus 4 minus minus 2, or sorry, when you say minus 4 minus 2, you essentially add those two digits and apply the sign of -4, that is negative, so that becomes -6. When you do the calculations with 4 minus -2, you simply add those two numbers and apply the sign of 4, which is positive, so it becomes +6. So that's what the sutra means. And so this is overall what Brahmagupta says in his Brahmasputa Siddhanta for the addition and subtraction. Now, Brahmasputa Siddhanta is an astronomical text which involves such a complicated mathematics. Why did he get into such a basic elementary mathematics and took the pain of explaining this? Because mathematics is the gem on the side of a serpent, or it is the crest of a peacock, right? So it is very important that we understand mathematics very effectively with the basic principles of that, and that's how it starts. Thank you.